officially call this meeting to order. Okay, these are the illustrious board members, and here we have Mike, and we have Bob, and we have Reuben, and we have Hugh. Where's Lynn? Yay. All right. We want to talk about some important things before we do. However, let me just ask, the feature presentation for April? It's somebody, right? Who is it again?
Yeah, it's Art.
Art Weber, that's right. Ham Dashboard, is that correct?
Yeah, I was just over at his house today.
He just what?
I was just over at his house today.
Oh.
Spent about 3 hours over there.
Wow.
He gave me a little demonstration on what he's going to present. I think you'll all be very interested in it.
Oh wow! All
right.
Yeah,
when we talked a month or three ago, it sounded like this is exactly what we all want. Come on in. Yep. And I wanted to do it live. He said I could do it in March. I'm sorry, I could do it in April from Florida, or I can do it in May from Hazel Park. And I said, nope, Hazel Park. I want you in May.
Yep.
So what are we doing in April?
He's got a beautiful house. He's got a beautiful station there. Great yard. We put up a couple antennas today and did some other things together. So went out to lunch. It was a great day.
Great, and a nice day for it too. You know, these are the best days of the year. So what's the presentation in April?
You mean the one we did 3 weeks ago? Today's April 30th.
No shit. Okay, got it.
Did you miss that
meeting?
Thank you.
Never mind. It's May. I just cannot get my arms around that. Okay. All right. So we got that done. This is more than I can. So what I don't have a slide for, of course, is our election. What are we doing with the elections? So, and I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I volunteer you.
Our next what?
I volunteer you.
You volunteer me for what?
For whatever you want to.
Well, so here's what I'm sort of thinking. Everybody stays in place. Brad wants to go do other things. Okay. We want to bring Andrew in, I think, as you know, for being able for carrying the ball across the goal line there.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Did Brad want to bail?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got so much going on that he just is buried.
Okay.
So
yeah, he made that clear, and Mike wanted to as well, but I'm pleading with him to stay put. Or switch with Len, maybe. I don't know. Len, you have any aspirations for higher office there?
Higher office.
I guess that's a loaded question, but
Len for president.
He would be he's a people person. He'd be terrific. He'd be a terrific president.
The reason we're asking you, Len, is because I really, deep in my heart, feel like I'm not doing a really very good job at second vice president, getting people and finding people and convincing them that you want to present to us. And you know so many people, and you've given me several leads, through the year. Maybe you want this job, and I'll move to first vice president, or I'll move to your position, so we won't lose a position.
It's not that I want it, Mike. It's I'm willing to take it, and with the idea of it, open up the directorship for somebody like Andrew or Tom or Dave. Dave would be another good one to bring into the board. So
absolutely. So can somebody nominate him?
Yeah, and they could have the option of first vice president or director, and I'll take the other one. unless both of them want in, then I can just bail.
If you're running for office, you can't run the
Then-
election.
Then you can't run the election.
You're running the election.
Oh, that's right.
But
I
that
thought
should not stop
I
you
didn't know
from
you
running.
changed your mind.
Hold on, we'll figure out who's gonna run the election. If you can take a spot, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. But we've got a lot, I mean, there's a lot going on coming, I mean, with this project number one, which we'll talk about in a minute, and everything else going on. So.
I'll run the
So,
Just real
election,
quick, Joe, I'll write up a script for the election so that if it isn't me, we can just say, here's how to run the election. And they can just go down the bullet list. Boop, boop, do this, do that, ask for nominations, ask for this, say that, do this, do that, done.
yeah,
So if it isn't
hold
me,
on.
we can find anybody to do it and they'll just do it.
Yes, okay, fine. Well, we gotta find, we have to nail this down. I can't go into the meeting not knowing what we're doing. And with everything else distracting, it's like, can we nail this down now? So right?
I'll do the election, Joe.
Thank you, John.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't
Thanks,
need
John.
support, Mike.
And
I did it a few
Okay,
times.
very good. Very good.
John, thank you. Thank you very much for that.
John's our permanent election guy,
He does a great
our
job.
election guy for life.
I'm
So I
telling you.
originally took it when they asked me so that they couldn't ask me to run for an office.
Well, that's the other thing, right?
That makes me exempt from any office.
I wish we had a bigger board, frankly, because there's more people who should be on. All right, anyway, okay, so we got that. Do we need, so John, what do we need? Do I need to do anything else more? Do we need to talk about it more or?
Well, we don't.
No,
Well,
let John.
It's
we can
going to be
talk
hard
John.
to do any kind of video thing with it, as far as boards, because we don't know who's running. So I'll just do it verbally from the front of the room.
Yeah,
I make a motion that John be the election committee, or how are we gotta do that?
Yeah, chairman.
Chairman
And-
of the
But,
election committee.
Chairman.
I
and
do need,
Second.
I
Second.
do need an observer though. I'll have
we
to
still
find
need
somebody
an
to volunteer
observer.
at the meeting to be observer, because it takes two of us to count the votes just to be on the safe
We
side.
can,
Yep.
yeah, we can work
That
on
should
that.
be easy.
Yeah,
Very diverse. All right, anyway, so is that it for elections? Okay. That's excellent. So let's talk about our little project here. So here's where we stand. Oh, I'm having a tough time, although
Okay, we're Joe. We're still on the club committee slide. Did you want to advance?
yeah,
the slide?
I don't really have. I was caught off guard today, so I don't really have like a real presentation. So I'm going to talk about the grant, and then we got to talk about field day real quick too, just on that.
There's
Those
an
are the
echo
two
going
big
on.
things. The what?
there is an echo going on. Does anybody
There
else
is an
hear that?
echo. I'm gonna close everybody's
I
microphone.
don't hear it.
I do. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
Okay, everybody else does.
Okay. You don't hear it. I'm gonna hit mute all, but everybody knows how to unmute, right?
just hit the
see,
space
mute
bar.
all. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay, did the echo go away? Yes, it did. Excellent. Okay, very good. All right, so let's talk about, and I don't even have a slide for it, and I apologize. It just is everything. Well, we'll just sit here for now. But so here's what's happening with the grant. So my first concern was we wouldn't have enough people. Well, and now we have plenty of people, so I'm more than confident, and a strong team. And I really mean it. I mean a strong team. So I'm really pumped, ready to go, and we'll take care of all the signing and paperwork and stuff. But the attorney has to look at it first, and I've been running around trying to find somebody, and I believe, and Mike 88 S88, Big Mike. So he suggested I reach out to the ARRL. So I did that today because my other two prospects kind of fell through. And so we'll see. And I copied a bunch of people just because keep people, I don't know.
The contract looked pretty simple. You're still holding off signing it?
Well, it's a little too simple. And I'll tell you, here's my concern. And I'm open. I mean, I am. I just need some guidance on it. I have two primary concerns. Number one, it's a little too simple, I think, because what is our responsibility? I mean, so they give us this money, and what is our responsibility? Like, what constitute completing the project so that we no longer, have a financial.
Joe, they gave us the grant based on what we told them we were going to do. So that's what we're committed to.
I see. Yes. And so,
You know,
we're not going to do that
offer,
exactly.
acceptance,
Yeah.
and remuneration. Those are three parts of a contract. We've told them what we want to do. They said, fine, here's a grant. Come on.
And there's a
let's
timeline,
get this
and when
thing
the
signed.
timeline comes, if we haven't spent it, they're going to probably stop paying it.
Yeah. Well, no, what happens, it gets transferred in a lump sum. So,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I'd like to sign it this week, to be honest with you, and get it done and out of the way.
Absolutely.
And once it's in the, absolutely, okay. And then once it's in the bank account, then we can figure things out. But here are my two concerns, just so that you know. Concern number one is, what constitutes the finish line? Just so that we all understand that we've met our obligations in terms of whatever the expectations are, which there apparently don't seem to be a lot of expectations, which is a curiosity to me. But, what specifically like 5 things that have to be achieved. So that's one thing that might be helpful. And then the other thing that's helpful too is just to make absolutely clear, and maybe I'm getting a little crazy about this, but once this thing is built and on the air, like it's still totally in our control, right? I mean, we're not like signing over something where if they replace all the equipment, and if there's some set of circumstances, whatever, and they want to take, that kind of a thing. And look, this is not something that I do every day, so I'm not probably the most experienced person at it. So I'm just guessing based on other things that I've done. So those are my concerns. But Bob, if you're,
If they were to take up ownership, it would have said so in their grant, and they didn't.
Right.
You know what? We need to get this thing signed and get started. We should be. We were going to contract someone to actually put in the to work on the antenna, the supports, and all that stuff.
Right.
We can start hiring that stuff or contracting, or at least getting bids or something. Come on, we got to get going.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, well, the first thing, we had a pretty good team together. So now that we know we have everybody together, but and there are quite a few details that do have to be worked out technically still. But okay. Let me and there's a couple
The
things.
one thing that would be helpful, Joe, the one thing would be helpful is if you could send us all a copy of what we submitted for the grant, because then we'll know, so we all know what we've promised to do. And that'll give us guidelines. So what we submitted to them, because I don't think I've seen that.
Okay. So on Monday we had a meeting, a dart board. What do you think of that name? A dart board meeting. And we started talking about and addressing some of that. And I apologize for not getting everything straight in terms of invites and stuff like that in my distribution list. But so we did talk about that. So I think we have momentum, and I agree with you, Bob. If you're confident with that, and I still have the this attorney thing is I think important anyway. But we won't. We'll move it quick. I would like to finish this by Friday, which is the day after tomorrow. So, well,
That
maybe
dartboard
that's a
meeting,
little too, that might be a little bit too optimistic, but certainly by mid next week. Get it signed, get the money in the bank, and then we can continue
How
our
many signatures are they requiring?
that
one.
dartboard meeting is on YouTube already.
Oh, yes, thank you for that. That's right. That's right, Bobby. Yeah, it's on the YouTube if you want to watch it. Okay. Um, all right. And what we are, just so that you know, and I'll say it here, on Mondays, we have that, hold on, that feedback again coming here. Hold on, let me just, oh,
I think
we put in
it's either
chat
coming
there.
from Mike or
Here, I'll just mute everybody again. Hold
Bob.
on.
Okay, there you go.
Who's not muted? Well, everybody's muted now.
Yeah.
Oh, and it went away. How about that? Okay. You know who's not here? John is not here. John AAAUU. I did want to talk a little bit about field day. And I don't know much more about it, but that's a big thing that's coming up. Uh, 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 Scout Park. Not that like we've never been there before, but um, everything's a little bit different each year. And then there's a question about kitchen and facilities, and so hopefully Mike, NHVDZ Mike, touch base, I guess, with Bill.
Yeah, I'm all set. I'm
You're all
good.
set. Okay, good. Yeah. All right. Okay. Good. Good.
John has a family emergency going on.
John AAAUU.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Sick.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
bummer.
it's a bit of a concern now. It's been going on a week. I think
Yes.
what's her name? Suzanne, is that his wife's name? Is not well. So we're all concerned and hoping for the best on that. All right. To be honest, other than so field day, but so we'll focus on getting that a contract signed, the money in the bank. Mondays is the meetings. We talked about where we're going to go with the specifically. So we're doing this phased approach, of course, with this project. We'll do the antennas in Oak Park, then we'll do the equipment rack in Oak Park. Maybe they kind of overlap each other. Then we'll do the equipment rack in Beverly Hills, I guess. It's not the Beverly Hills I know, but Beverly Hills. And then we'll do the link in between them. And then the technology that we use on the link, the wireless IP networking link. Oh, I came up with this great name, AirLink, HPARC AirLink, which is trademarkable, by the way, which is just short of remarkable. But so anyway, that's the phased approach, and those are the phases, 4 phases of all that. So we'll move ahead there. We'll get the money in the bank. Well, the networking group is hard at work figuring out how all that's going to unfold, all the different subnets and things like that. I put in my suggestions and then immediately got shot down because I'm from like 1980s. Um, last time I worked on a network. But anyway, so it sounds I'm very impressed with our team, very strong, and this is going to go very well. We'll keep things organized, and we'll let the people who do what they do what they do, if you know what I mean, and take it from there. So, does anybody have any other issues or anything? to bring up here? If not, one of two things, either there's no issues or my speaker's not working. So, but I think there's no issues.
I'm good.
You're good. Okay, good.
I'm good.
All right, everybody, listen, thank you for dropping in. This is just really an exciting time, frankly. And so stay tuned and more to
Does that
follow.
the contract have to be notarized or witnessed or anything?
You know, you would think so, but no. It was a very simple contract. Everybody was supposed to, I'm not,
I'd get it done. I didn't see any objections to it. It
yeah,
doesn't obligate us in any way. And if we don't do it, they just ask what money's left, and they request it back. But I'd get it signed as soon as possible, Joe.
okay. That's too, absolutely. I will move on that, get that done. All right. Um, Great. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for dropping in and stay tuned. More to follow. So have a good evening. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right. See y'all.
Oh, the meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks for the heads up, John, TOI.
Yeah. And thanks, Mike. Thanks for your heads up there too. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.